Stupid people are ruining America. It's sad.
Here's the big issue. The president doesn't want to have to be confronted with priorities and spending because he has a lot of chutzpah. He spent $1 trillion on the stimulus. It failed.
If you've had enough, take out your phone and text FED UP to 95613. And you can always follow me on Twitter at Governor Perry.
He who warned the British that they weren't going to be taking away our arms by ringing those bells and making sure as he's riding his horse through town to send those warning shots and bells that we were going to be secure and we were going to be free.
And an interesting response to his favorite novel.
Actually, the one by L. Ron Hubbard, I hate to think, I'm not in favor of his religion by any means, but he wrote a book called Battlefield Earth that was a very fun.
Where do you stand on the right of return?
The right of return? The right of return?
And I just wondered that if our founders thought taxation without representation was bad, what would they think of representation with taxation? I don't know what's going to happen.
Try as I may, Governor, I'm not going to wait that long. Adios, mofo.
What other Supreme Court decisions do you disagree with?
Well, let's see. There's, of course, in the great history of America, there have been rulings that there's never going to be absolute consensus by every American, and there are those issues, again, like Roe v. Wade, where I believe are best held on a state level and addressed there. So, going through the history of America, there would be others, but...
Can you think of any?
Well, I would think of any, again, that could best be dealt with on a more local level. Maybe I would take issue with, but, as a mayor and then as a governor and even as a vice president, if I'm so privileged to serve, wouldn't be in a position of changing those things, but in supporting the law of the land as it reads today.
Corporations are people, my friend. We can raise taxes on... Of course they are. Everything corporations earn ultimately goes to people. So...
Would you be comfortable appointing a Muslim either in your cabinet or as a federal judge?
No, I will not.
You said on the record there'd been only one offshore oil drilling permit during the Obama administration, and in fact at that time there'd been 270. How do you explain that?
Well, I think that what's clear more than anything is the fact that President Obama has not been issuing the permits that he should have been issuing on offshore drilling.
Well,
that's why we're in the problem we're in
now.
Well,
at that time there'd been 200 and something, and you said there'd been only one.
But as far as drilling goes, we hadn't been drilling what we need to. That's why we just saw this week.
But that's different, isn't it?
Well, that's why this week it's ironic and sad that the president released all of the oil from the strategic oil reserve.
Governor, why does Texas continue with abstinence education programs when they don't seem to be working? In fact, I think we have the third highest teen pregnancy rate in the country among all the states.
Abstinence works.
But we are the third highest teen pregnancy. We have the third highest teen pregnancy rate among all states in the country. The questioner's point is, it doesn't seem to be working. Abstinence education.
It works. Maybe it's the way it's being taught or the way that it's being applied out there. But the fact of the matter is, it is the best form of to teach our children.
Can you give me a statistic suggesting it works?
I'm just going to tell you from my own personal life. Abstinence works.
The president and his wife, the first lady spoke at NAACP so recently. They have power in their words. They could refute what it is that this group is saying, and they could set the record straight.
Hey, I can be up here. Come on. Who's got your camera, though? Who let the dogs out? Who?
So wait a minute. Are you saying that it is that Muslims have to prove there has to be some loyalty proof?
Yes, to the Constitution of the United States of America.
Well, would you do that to a Catholic, or would you do that to a Mormon?
Nope, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Well, you use the subpoena power to do what you said on my program you would do. Investigate the Democratic members of Congress for un-American activities.
I think the first thing we're going to do is try and set the economy in order, because jobs is the big issue. You were just having a discussion about that, and what people want to make sure is that no one's taxes are going up.
That's not what the, I mean, with respect, Governor, that's not what the questioner is asking. The questioner is simply saying we're spending money on abstinence education. We're the third highest teen pregnancy rate in the country. Is there a problem, disconnect between one and the other?
I don't know. Look, it gets in line with
What newspapers and magazines did you regularly read before you were tapped for this to stay informed and to understand the world?
I've read most of them, again, with a great appreciation for the press, for the media.
But like what one specifically, I'm curious that you...
all of them, any of them that have been in front of me over all these years.
Governor Nora O'Donnell. Yes, I know. I just don't take questions unless we're doing a press email.
Too many people. I'm sorry, Nora. I'm sorry.
I take questions and press emails where I get a chance to discuss in full my views. But what I don't want to do is just on a sidewalk answer questions, because sometimes when I do that, I find that I don't get the chance to discuss these things in full.
We don't need to rewrite the Constitution of the United States, rewrite it. We need to reread the Constitution and enforce the Constitution. We don't need to rewrite, let's reread. And I know that there are some people that are not going to do that, so for the benefit of those that are not going to read it because they don't want us to go by the Constitution, there's a little section in there that talks about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Who do you want to investigate the Democratic members of Congress for un-American thinking?
Well, the plan that I've been talking about all through this election is really four things, and I would encourage the new Republican leadership to take this on as the agenda in 2011, and it's very simple. It's keep the current tax policies so no one has increased taxes.
In other words, you're just hurting all of the other states.
Actually, that's what our founding fathers had in mind with the 10th Amendment.
They keep telling us, especially the Tea Party Americans, they're saying, oh, we'd like their policies and programs if only we were smart enough to understand them. Well, we've got news for them. We get it. We understand plenty. And we have a word for them. We still don't like it.
Romney will be the center of attention at the debate, but for the straw poll, it's considerably Mitt Romney. Governor, hey Carl, what a great surprise! Good to see you. We're on live with Shepard Smith. Oh, hey Shep, how you doing?
And as you know, too often overgeneralizations are made. If you take an oath on the Koran, that means that you support Sharia law.
Are you hypnotized? Has someone put you under a trance tonight? Did you give me the same answer no matter what question I put to you?
I think the American people are the ones that finally are speaking tonight.
Yes, our climate's changed. They've been changing for ever since the Earth was formed.
Do you agree with the Bush doctrine?
In what respect, Charlie?
The Bush. Shep, this is the kind of thing that happens in Iowa, only for Fox News.
Didn't he take his oath on the Koran instead of the Bible?
Which is free markets and embrace the principles of our founders.
Okay. It's slavery, and we become slaves to government.
This isn't a crapshoot. Just a lot of this is being crap, though.
The right of return?
The Palestinian right of return.
That's something that should be negotiated.
We know that we are the Saudi Arabia of oil.
There are a substantial number of scientists who have manipulated data.
Well, I think I should also tell my story. I'm also unemployed.
of the liberals is to destroy this country.
10 Commandments is not a bad thing for people to understand and to respect.
I'm with you.
Where better place could you have something like that than in a judicial building or in a courthouse?
That is a good question. Can you think of any better building to put the 10 Commandments in than in a public building?
No.
What are the 10 Commandments?
What are all of them? You want me to name them all?
Yeah, please.
Don't murder. Don't lie. Don't steal. I can't name them all.